After many adventures, Arya, Zui, and Kala had grown into wise, brave, and compassionate young women. They had become known not just in their own kingdom but in many lands for their kindness, strength, and courage. King Kofi's heart swelled with pride each time he heard tales of his daughter's deeds, but he also knew that one day they might wish to start their own families. Then, one bright spring morning, 3 noblemen arrived at the palace gates. Each had come from a faraway land, having heard of the king's daughters and their legendary adventures. They had traveled long distances, all with one hope: to ask for the hand of a princess in marriage. The first suitor was Prince Eliam, a gentle and thoughtful man from the kingdom of Azura. He was known for his love of learning, and he had a vast library filled with books from all over the world. He had heard of Arya's intelligence and her gift for diplomacy and hoped she might consider him as her partner. The second suitor was Sir Omori, a brave and kind-hearted knight from a distant land. He was strong and fearless, always ready to defend those who needed help. He had come to ask for Zui's hand, admiring her gentle heart and her dedication to healing others. The third suitor was Leo, a lively adventurer with a love for exploration, just like Kala. Leo had journeyed through forests, mountains, and seas, collecting stories and treasures along the way. He was drawn to Kala's adventurous spirit and hoped they could continue exploring the world together. When the suitors arrived, King Kofi was pleased but also cautious. He had always wanted his daughters to be happy and free, but he remembered his old fears of letting them go. However, seeing his daughters' excitement and happiness at meeting these suitors, he knew that they had truly found companions who valued and understood them. The king decided to hold a grand feast, inviting the suitors to get to know his daughters better and prove their worth. That evening, the palace was filled with music, laughter, and the clinking of glasses as everyone gathered for the feast. Arya sat with Prince Eliam, discussing history and philosophy, finding joy in each other's curiosity and passion for learning. She discovered that Eliam shared her dream of creating peace among the kingdoms, and he admired her wisdom and courage. At another table, Zoe was talking with Sir Omori, who listened with deep interest as she spoke about her healing journeys. She was moved by his kindness and bravery, and she felt a warmth in her heart as he shared stories of his adventures helping others. Zoe could see that Sir Omori had a heart as gentle as hers, and she felt safe with him. Meanwhile, Kala laughed and exchanged stories with Leo, the adventurous traveler. They shared tales of wild forests and hidden treasures, each more exciting than the last. Kala felt a thrill in her heart as she realized that Leo, like her, loved the excitement of the unknown and wanted a partner who would explore the world with him. The king watched his daughters with a mixture of joy and sadness. He could see how happy they were with their suitors, and he knew that they were finally ready to take the next step in their lives. But King Kofi, wanting to be sure of the suitors' intentions, decided to give them one final test. He called them together the next morning and said, "If you truly love my daughters, you must prove your loyalty not just to them, but to our kingdom. I have set a challenge for each of you, one that will test your love, courage, and loyalty." The suitors nodded, ready to face any challenge to win the hand of the woman they loved. For Prince Eliam, the king asked him to solve a complex riddle about peace and unity, a test of his intelligence and wisdom. Eliam thought carefully, drawing on his knowledge and experience. He finally solved the riddle, impressing the king with his insight. For Sir Omori, the king presented a test of courage. He asked him to protect the kingdom's villagers from a band of wild animals that had been causing trouble. Omori fearlessly stepped forward, leading a group of guards and saving the villagers, showing both his bravery and his kindness. For Leo, the king set a task of finding a rare flower that only grew in a deep, dangerous forest. The flower was said to symbolize eternal love. Leo accepted the challenge eagerly, venturing into the forest and returning with the flower, unharmed and full of joy. After the suitors completed their tasks, King Kofi was impressed. Each suitor had proven himself worthy, showing the qualities he valued most: wisdom, kindness, bravery, and a deep love for his daughters. He called Arya, Zui, and Kala to him. "My dear daughters," he said, his voice full of emotion, "I see that you have found men who respect and understand you, just as I always hoped you would. I give you my blessing to choose freely, knowing that you will always have a place here in your home." Arya chose Prince Eliam, finding joy in the shared dreams they held for peace and learning. Zui chose Sir Omori, drawn to his gentle heart and bravery. And Kala, with excitement in her heart, chose Leo, her partner in adventure. The palace soon buzzed with preparations for a grand triple wedding. People from all over the kingdom, and beyond, gathered to celebrate the love stories of the three princesses. The weddings were filled with laughter, music, and dancing, as the whole kingdom rejoiced in the happiness of Arya, Zoe, and Kala. As the sun set on their wedding day, the three sisters stood beside their father, who looked at them with tears of happiness in his eyes. "I could not have asked for a better ending to our story," he said softly. "You are all so brave, kind, and wise. I know you will build happy lives and always keep our family's love in your hearts." The daughters hugged their father tightly, promising to visit often and to carry his love wherever they went. And so, Arya, Zoe, and Kala began their new lives with their husbands, each finding happiness in a unique way. Arya worked alongside Eliam to bring peace to neighboring kingdoms, Zoe traveled with Amari to help those in need, and Kala and Leo set off on thrilling adventures, exploring lands unknown. King Kofi watched as his daughters left to start their own families, feeling a mixture of joy and pride. His heart was at peace, knowing they were loved and cherished. And though their stories would continue in different lands and with new families, the bond they shared and the love of their father would always keep them connected. And so, their story goes on, filled with love, adventure, and the promise of a happy future for all. The kingdom flourished, and King Kofi's legacy lived on in his wise, kind, and courageous daughters, who carried his spirit with them wherever they went. After some years, the king received a letter of his daughters all putting to birth. King Kofi is proud of daughters. And the wonderful husband they have chosen for themselves. Everyone was so happy ever after. The story of King Kofi is a story of a wonderful father who loves his daughters so much that does not want them to fall in the hands of ungodly men. Finally, he is filled with happiness seeing that his daughters are saved. The end. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to encourage our channel by watching other of our videos.